Hello everyone! Happy Morgana Monday. I want to apologize because right after I recorded the last video, I ended up getting sick. So I sound a little bit nasally. I waited the entire week, even though I really wanted to record this early because I really wanted to see the continuation, right? But I really didn't want to record while I sounded really bad. And I know I sound a little bit stuffy still, so just an apology for that because I wanted to make sure I got it out this week. And I really just want to know what happens, honestly. So just as a heads up, if you're like, why she sound a little funky? Because I don't know how bad I sound, but I know I don't sound as bad as I did earlier in the week. So anyway, let's just go for it. I'm confusing myself with all of my multiple saves, but I'm pretty sure... I know this is longer, but I feel this is my most recent. Why is this so much longer, though? Weird. Okay. Sure. Am I reading that wrong? Set on a pot, set it on, and also pour water into it. Gather the pieces thereof into it, even every good piece, the thigh and the shoulder. Fill it with the choice of bones. Take the choice of the flock, and burn also the bones under it. And make it boil well, and let them see the bones of it therein. Thus saith the Lord, woe to the bloody city, and to the pot whose scum is therein, and whose scum is not gone out of it. Yeah, you have to skim the scum off the top, actually. That's anyway, that's how you make soup. It's like you're making bone broth, you gotta skim the tops. Okay. Bring it out piece by piece. Let no lot fall upon it. Oh, white-haired girl. We start with her? That's kind of wild. That's a wild little thing. Where is she? Where'd she go? She came down this way, I'm sure of it. Find her. Find her. And burn her. Burn the witch. Burn the witch. Burn the witch. Burn the witch. Burn her. Burn her. Burn her. Oh, frig. Then will I leave thee upon the land. I will cast thee forth upon the open field, and will cause all the fowls of the heaven to remain upon thee. And I will fill the beasts of the whole earth with thee. And I will lay thy flesh upon the mountains, and fill the valleys with thy height. I will also water with thy blood the land wherein thou swimmest, even to the mountains. And the rivers shall be full of thee. And when I shall put thee out, I will cover the heaven, and make the stars thereof dark. I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give her light. All the bright lights of heaven will I make dark over thee, and set darkness upon thy land. I seem to have lost them. Now, where am I? Where should I go from here? What am I to do? Darkness spreads as far as thy eye can see. Not a ray of light shines down upon me. All the strokes my cheek are tendrils of darkness. My brain really wants to feel, because this is like the woods and the white-haired girl and where we left off in the last door, that this is like continuing off on that, but obviously it's not. But like my brain is feeling it's not at all. I want to know what happened to her last door. I'm still thinking about it. She had to have just died. I know it wasn't anything dramatic. I just wish we could have seen her point of view at the end at some point. I mean, I guess that's kind of how most of the time it goes. Actually, that's how it's happened every time. Every time she dies, and we never really, like, we switch off of her, and then we find out that she, like, dies or leaves or something happens, you know? Which is on purpose, but Every passing day, every fading hour, my world is engulfed in ebony. There exists no kindness in this shadow, only solitude. I've lost track how long I've been on the run, wandering aimlessly, lost, until I arrived at this dark forest. I no longer have anywhere to go. O Father who art in heaven, I kneel to thee within my heart and ask of thee thy blessing. O Father who art in heaven, I ask of thee to shine thy light upon me and show me the way. Please have mercy upon my soul. O Father who art in heaven, I do love thee dearly, hallowed be thy name. Please show me the way. I may be shunned and persecuted. I may have no place to go, but nevertheless, I am unable to give up on life, to cast aside my hope. O Father who art in heaven, please guide me unto salvation. O Father who art in heaven, please guide me. I can no longer remember when my life became naught but running, when it became endless wandering in the dark. And now, when I've reached the point where I've long since forgotten my hunger and thirst, my voice has become hoarse, my vision gone blurry, and my consciousness begins sinking into a hazy moraze. That mansion appears before me, wrapped in a morning fog that seems to foretell rain. Ooh. Short hair era, I see. This is cool. Oh my. The mansion comes into view like the world fading in after a dream. It doesn't appear as though anyone lives here. All the windows are either boarded up or shuttered, as if it's long since been abandoned. A tower, which seems out of place in a personal residence, stands tall beside the mansion. The whole building seems as though it could disappear with the fog. It has an unwelcoming presence, freezing me in my tracks. However, if this is where you have led me, then I shall follow your guidance. Having nowhere else to go, this mansion is my only salvation, the light that guides my way. And so, I must have faith that no matter what I find, whether spirits or wild beasts dwell within these walls, that this is where I will find peace. Is anyone there? I guess it is abandoned. That makes sense. It would be more unusual for someone to be living in a house so deep in the woods, so far from civilization, like it's been forgotten to time. Can't imagine anyone spending their days here. I place my hand on the front door. What if I can't get in? I very much doubt I'll find anywhere else to stay wandering around through the woods. If the door doesn't open, then I'll die out here in the forest. I've come to accept much, but I'm not ready to forfeit my life yet. Oh, actually, let me check this. Oh, there's a lot of X's. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh! That was like a jump scare. 1 second. Where? Oh, wait, I'm way too far up. So, you can try to remember the past, but it's an absolute, utter waste of time. Erase everything, all your sorrows, wipe them away for a fistful of happiness. Allow me to show you that you have no need of the past. Is the maid saying that? Away with a fistful of happiness. I feel like she wants you to remember, though. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like she's been saying, like that we will remember eventually. Where do those X's come from? Interesting. Oh, Father who art in heaven, I ask to thee, ask of thy... Oh, God. I'm trying to remember how that went. Something... I ask of thee. Oh, ask. Okay. Yeah, it's literally... Okay. To... Please... Why are there X's here in her prayers? Oh my? Why are there X's in all of this? And I shall... Something, your guidance. I'm trying to, like, figure out if there's something in common, like, with these X's, or if it's just, like... I don't want to be told that, by the way. I'm just really trying to piece that together, I guess. I don't know. Okay. The door is heavy, and though it seems to protest my attempts to enter, it still opens much easier than I was expecting. I was worried over nothing. Looking in, I get the strangest impression. Light is being swallowed up into the mansion's depths. Rather than going inside, it feels as though I'm about to step outside the boundaries of this world. When I close the door, it's so dark I can't even tell where I'm walking. I wonder if the window's open. Though I manage to fumble my way over to a window, it's tightly shuttered and the shutters are caked with rust. I'm probably not getting it open without a fight. Only I had some source of light. I can't even see my hand waving in front of my face. It feels as if the floor will fall out from under me and I'll sink into eternal darkness if I don't watch my step. Fighting back that fear, I slowly walk forward, tracing the wall with my hand. There's a door at the end of a long corridor. I pull it open and a wisp of bone-chilling air brushes past me. It's too dark to see anything, but I can feel something different present in this area than the rest of the area of the house. Uneasiness grips me. Is anybody there? My voice simply disappears into the void. No response. As I'm pushing forward through the freezing air for a split second, I spot a shimmer of light. Squinting my eyes, I'm able to make out a large window. Unlike the others, it's not shuttered, but covered by drapes. My chances are slim, I imagine, but if there's even a slight possibility of getting some light in here, it's worth a shot. So I pull open the drapes. Is this? Yeah! Before I could even guess it, frig. The next moment, faint but colorful light shines down upon me. It's a stained glass window. From beyond the glass, I can hear the subtle pitter-patter of rain. I guess it's finally started. The different colors of light blend into a milky white, dim but wondrous. It's gorgeous. Why would someone cover this up? It's beautiful. With a little more light, it'd be... Please do not touch the drapes. Or the windows. Suddenly, I hear a voice, and I can sense someone else in the room. The man's voice is emotionless, neither deep nor high. Before long, he comes into view, illuminated by dull orange candlelight. Is this French Michael? Oh my god, it's French Oh wait, what a second. What was that? What the hell was that for a second? Oh my god, French Michael, what are you doing? Is it Michel? Michelle? Something like that. How do you say? Okay. Let's set the record straight. That I don't know how to sing it. That's the record. The record is I don't know how to sing it.
Or it is usually pronounced as Michel.
Michel.
From French Michel.
Michel. Okay. I see. The more you know. Alright. I'm sorry for coming in uninvited, but, I did announce myself. The man stands there, practically blending in with the darkness. Has he been there the whole time? He's staring straight at me. His gaze wavers slightly, but not enough for me to read anything in it. The candle in his hand and the light from the stained glass windows are the only illumination in the room, neither of which are particularly bright. As a result, his outline is faint and blurred, gives off the impression that he might vanish entirely between blinks. Those sure look like his wings, huh? My apologies. I assume the house was abandoned. I suspect you would have preferred it to be abandoned. Not at all. Is this, do you live in this mansion? Yes. I have for a very long time. I thought I had barred the front door, but it would seem I left it open. What brings you here? I am... If you're lost, I'm happy to give you directions. There's a village west of here. It should take you maybe half a day on foot. If you're in need of money, help yourself to some of the furniture. Trade it for food at the village, then make your way to a larger town. Wait a second. Wait. Okay, can't figure out the X's yet, but, fan theory, 1 second. This is where we last saved. Okay. Yes. Alright. Okay. 1 second. I am the witch. She didn't look like white-haired girl, though, is my thing. Giselle. Going alright then. The mansion I'm looking for. Get going. Do I live there? It's not really the same. The windows. It's like the same actions, but it's not the same words. A little more light it'd be. It's like the same. Let's not touch the weight or the windows. This is the same thing. Is this your mansion? It is. I was afraid it was deserted. It's this dark mansion all by myself. I don't know where I got an idea that I could see Giselle, to be honest. So Giselle could genuinely just be the white-haired girl. I mean, this is like the same words. Well, not exactly the same words, but the same... All of the sentences and the actions carry like the same meanings. You know what I mean? But it's like different words, which is interesting. Free to leave. Some of the furniture, yeah. Interesting. I like... I'm kind of at a loss for words. Or white-haired girls. name is also Morgana. That could still be. It's either Giselle or Morgana are my two bets at this point, I suppose. Anyway, sorry, I'm like, that's interesting. That's intriguing. No thoughts. Please allow me to stay here. Okay. Could you repeat that? I cannot go to the village. No, I cannot go anywhere. I am no longer able to freely return to any town. I'm being hunted. Okay, this is different though. Interesting. I wonder... Interesting. Why are these words X'd? Ah! Okay. Do they have anything in common? I'm really trying to figure this out. You seem quite young to be a sinner. Hunted. Hunt. Sinner. Tiny village. Could you repeat that? I don't think there's any similarity. There's some reason they're being X'd. I just don't know yet. Ah! I see. Transgression. Okay, so... maybe white-haired girl is Giselle then. But, like, also maybe Morgana. But also maybe... I don't know. There's a little isekai transgression romance fantasy nonsense going on right now, huh? I am neither a thief nor an adulterer. If I bear any sin, then it has been with me since birth. I will do everything I can to stay out of your way. I simply ask that you grant me shelter until it all blows over. If you wish to know of my transgression, I'll tell you. So please, do not throw me out. I see. And do you ask this of me aware of how people refer to this mansion? Pardon? It is said that a witch once lived in this house. And not just any witch. A cursed witch. This house has been tainted by her seething hatred, and all who dwell within it meet their demise. But you live here, don't you? Like her, I too am cursed. Huh? What kind of curse? The one I can tell you is that your life is in danger if you get involved with me. Should you approach my curse, I am likely to take your life. You'll kill me? Yes. So you do not belong here. To live with me in this mansion is to sentence yourself to death. No matter what path I choose, I very much doubt I have a future. And if that's the case, then I shall live how I want. I don't care what people say about you or this mansion. I wish to stay here. You might think I'm rather strange, but my heart tells me that I must stay here, that I was guided here. And hearing what you have to say only reinforces that. What are you scheming? I'm not scheming anything. I'm simply tired of running. So if your curse is going to kill me, then perhaps that's for the best. At the very least, you won't be hunting me. You won't try to flay me or tear off my arms or rip the flesh from my bones. And that's enough for me. If you've committed no sin, then why do they hunt you so fervently? I am accused of being a witch. Oh, that's a lot of red. Okay, one sec. Just double checking. Okay. Accused of being a witch. My lifeblood was your sustenance, your prosperity. Upon my blood did you build your lives. A sin so great it shall never be forgiven. And by my blood were your lives extinguished. This is the power granted unto me by God. My blood shall become a curse, blotting out the stars. I am the witch Morgana. Now let us begin a tale, the beautiful finale of this world, sorry. Okay. Master, please wake up. Return to me. Have you come to, Master? I apologize for sending you through the door without warning. I must have given you quite the scare, but I beg your forgiveness. I heard a terrible screaming from down the stairs and I panicked. You say you saw the white-haired girl? I see. So you made it into the world beyond the door before me. I am deeply relieved I was able to take your hand before losing sight of you. I presume you've already grown familiar with the atmosphere of this time period, Master. If you have seen her, as you said, then you should have a basic grasp of the situation. She was a very misfortunate girl in this era, accused of being a witch, abused, and persecuted. Wasn't she a very misfortunate girl in every era? Let's be real here. Yeah, what is this spooky music going on? Her life was in constant danger. It was, again, her appearance that brought this upon her. The snow-white hair and those ruby-red eyes clearly differentiated her from everyone else. Oh, and I apologize. I neglected to mention that this door is unique. As for what sets it apart, that will be made clear as we proceed through one difference. The one difference is in the time period. The tales I've shown you began with that of the beautiful flaxen-haired family, followed by the tale of the bloodthirsty beast, and then the tale of steel and ambition, proceeding in chronological order. However, the door you have just entered takes us to the period now known as the Middle Ages, long, long before the other three tales. Yes, that is correct. This is where it all began. The mansion's curse, the truth of the witch, and your identity. All of this should be made known. If, after this tale, you are still unable to reclaim your old self, then there is nothing more I can do. This door contains the last tale I am able to tell you, so I ask of you, please do not let go of my hand until it is all over. Now then, let us begin a beautiful, tragic love story of the two solitary souls trapped in a mansion of darkness. Oh, interesting. Just wanted to peek. I won't peek that often. I'm just peeking a lot right now. In that era, the mansion was a dungeon draped in darkness. After a great deal of time on the run, the white-haired girl found herself in a remote mansion that stood in a dark, overgrown forest. All the windows were either boarded or shuttered, and it was even darker inside the house than out. Not even a ray of moonlight could enter those walls. Only naturally, the white-haired girl had assumed that nobody lived there. But her guess was incorrect. Someone did indeed dwell in the house. It was a young man named Michel. Though she could not make out the details of his face in the candlelight, she thought him a very handsome man. However, he proclaimed to her that a witch resided within the mansion, and that he too was cursed. Everyone who got close to him lost their lives. Do you think what he told her was all nonsense? a lie devised to chase her out of the house? The truth of the matter shall come to light in time. What are those? I'm trying to... They're saying words. Just trying to make out anything. Yeah. Okay. Despite Michelle's assertions, words. Sorry, I don't know why I struggled so much with that. I'm struggling today. My apologies, everyone. The white-haired girl decided she would take up residence within the mansion. In this era's white-haired girl was younger than the others. She was still in her early teens, young enough to be seen as still a child. She was neither as self-centered nor irresponsible as you might expect of someone her age. I would never expect that of a white-haired girl. She's never shown those traits in any way, to be honest. She was very delicate and reserved, and acted with a great deal of modesty and restraint. Ah, just like the white-haired girl I know. The accusations of her being a criminal and a sinner were grossly inappropriate. Nevertheless, she was still chased from her home, and barely managing to flee to this mansion with her life. Now the white-haired girl thought it would be rude to simply take up space in the mansion, so she chased down the master, Michel, and asked, is there anything I can do to help? I'll clean and cook or do anything. Just let me know. I like his wildly untamed hair. I keep looking how long it is. It's like, it's past the frame. Like, it's out of frame. Like, we just can't see how far it goes. I want to see his luscious locks. I hope they keep it long. Oh my god. I'm tired of men with long hair getting it cut. I'm sick of it. I hope they keep it long. I want to repay you for allowing me to stay here. You need not feel indebted to me. The weight of that obligation will only turn into disdain. But I can't just stay here and do nothing. Do whatever you like, as long as you do not enter my room. That is all I ask of you. Well, she's gonna enter his room. Chekhov's gun, the gun of Chekhov. Get the Chekhov's gun? The gun of Chekhov? The gun? The Chekhov's gun? Gun of Chekhov? Anyway. He sat emotionlessly, turning away and walking off. Michel was not, I believe, spurning her. He was merely disinterested. He did not treat her disrespectfully, nor did he seem adverse to her presence. Words simply did not seem to affect him at all. Not only was the mansion a prison for his body was also a prison, ensnaring his heart. I should still do whatever I can, except don't go in his room. I just, like, I don't know if there's something horribly evil in there or what, but, like, I feel like someone comes into my house and I graciously let them stay, and I ask of them one thing, specifically my space in my home, but my like very private space in my home, aka my room, right? And I ask them not to come in there, and if they come in there, I'd be pretty pissed too. There's probably like a dead body or something horrible in there. Okay, you know, I mean, like, I don't know this, all right, but like currently this sounds like a reasonable request, even if there is a weird dead body or something weird in there, right? I don't know, it sounds reasonable to me. Like, don't come into my room, do whatever you want, just don't come into my room. Like, that's a good boundary to set, you know, healthy, I would say. Oh, none of these are X'd. Very interesting. I wonder if it was because it wasn't through the lens of the maid, potentially? I don't know. That's interesting. Okay. But she did not let that get her down. In fact, she might have even interpreted his disinterest as kindness. Though he was a bit standoffish, he did not attempt to cause her harm. He was nothing like the people who'd accused her of being a witch or forced her to flee for her life, and she was deeply grateful for that. Thus began their quiet life together. Michelle, who avoided contact with others, and the white-haired girl, who had taken a great deal of abuse from others. Two people who knew hardly anything about one another, who were too distant to really be said to be living together. Michelle spent most of his days in his chamber, so they only ever saw each other occasionally, and they hardly ever spoke. Though they stayed in the same house, they both still lived solitary lives. Roommates. Nonetheless, the white-haired girl wanted to get to know Michelle better. She wanted to know why he called himself cursed, why he lived alone in this dark mansion, how many days, how many years he had spent here in solitude. And while she waited for the opportunity, he also started doing things around the house. The first project she set out to take care of was cleaning. As the windows were all firmly shut, her only source of light was candles. For whatever reason. Oh, I can't figure out what they're saying in the music. I keep trying to pick out words. I can't figure it out for the life of me. I'll figure it out eventually, I'm sure. I mean, push come to shove, I can look up. I'm so sure, like, they have videos of it being, like, slowed down or, like, boosted in those parts where you can, like, hear it better or, like, clarified or something. So I'm sure I can look all this up later, even if I don't catch it throughout, like, going through the story, you know? That way I don't have to worry about being spoiled or anything. I can, you know, look at it later. For whatever reason, there was a great deal of candles stored in the cellar. She wondered where on earth he had acquired so many, but she never found the opportunity to ask him. It was difficult to even see all the dust and cobwebs with only candlelight, and considering the poor airflow through the house, she was afraid her efforts were going to be in vain. Still, she persisted, sweeping and wiping things down, one room at a time. Eventually, she made her way to the library. The dust that had settled there was much heavier than any other room. With each breath, she had to fight back coughs. It was not a room one would normally be comfortable spending much time in, but the sight of so many bulky volumes lining the shelves sent her heart aflutter with delight. They're books. Incredible. Real books. The white-haired girl had never seen a book before. She had heard people describe them, but that was the first time she'd ever seen one for herself. Parchment was a very valuable commodity in that era. It was something monks or scholarly priests made use of, and not a material one could easily acquire without some degree of social rank. Books were not printed with machines, but copied by hand. A single volume took an incredible amount of work to create. Even the process of binding was an art. Standing before a shelf, she stared intently at the spines. There's so much dust. Does he not read any of them? Just a peek. Just a tiny peek, she said, making excuses to the empty room as she reached her hand towards one of the books. I don't think he would care, considering he just said don't go in his room. You're not in his room, so I think it's fine. The tome that caught her eye was on the upper shelf. It bore gorgeous jade embossing and looked like it belonged in a treasure chest. Oh my god, sorry. I'm ill. Almost. Though she tended to act older than her age, the white-haired girl was still in her early teens and not especially tall. Even standing tiptoe, she was still just barely within reach. At long last, her slender fingers made contact with the spine, and she began to pull the book towards her. The library had sat abandoned for some time, causing the covers to stick together. So, when she attempted to pull one out, several others tilted with it. And then, this is the book falling sequence in the library that we saw earlier. Almost all the books on the shelf came avalanching onto her. Ow! The white-haired girl groaned, buried under a mountain of parchment. She hoped she had not damaged any of her host's valuable collection, for the mess was enough of a setback already in her attempt to express her gratitude. Looking around, she saw one volume that was almost torn in half. She did not know whether it was in that condition before or if it had happened in the fall. But nonetheless, she felt horribly guilty. Sitting there, unable to get back to her feet, tears began welling in her eyes. Then suddenly, a shadow fell over the dejected girl. It took a book in its hand and returned it to the shelf. For a brief moment, the shadow's hand reached hesitantly towards the white-haired girl, then changed course towards another book. It was Michel. There was a hint of perplexity in his otherwise emotionless eyes. Perhaps he had heard the noise and come to see what had caused it. I'm so sorry. Your books, What were you doing? I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to make a mess. I didn't mean to damage such precious books. There's no need to panic. I'm sorry. You make it sound as though I'm admonishing you. What? Did you want to read a book? I do, but that's not what I originally came here to clean. Clean? Yes, I felt guilty simply being idle. I did say you could do as you please, but you have no responsibility to clean anything. I just ended up making a bigger mess anyway. You needn't apologize. Oh, okay. If you want to read, help yourself to any of the books. But I don't know how to read. I just thought the covers were pretty, so I wanted to hold it. You're free to use them however you wish. If looking at them is enough for you, by all means. These are your books, aren't they? They are. That's incredible. You have so many. It must have taken you a long time to acquire them all. Once per month. What? My family sends me one every month. Every month? The white-haired girl turned her gaze towards the shelves, squinting her eyes and beginning to count. When she finished, she was in awe. There were in excess of 100 books on the shelves, which meant he had lived there in solitude for many years. She was at a loss for words. Their dull tomes, dreadfully inoffensive, and not even interesting enough to waste a few hours with. I see. If you can put them to some use, then perhaps my having them won't be entirely meaningless anymore. I'm going to return to my room. Don't feel obligated to clean up. Just a minute. Was there something else? Could you tell me your name? Oh. What? What? Why is the name closed? We weren't told it? I'm like gaslighting myself that he told us. But I guess he never did. Did he? Wait. Okay, I shouldn't be just comparing it to this, right? But... oh my god, I'm glad I have this locked. Do you see me trying to save over this when I meant to load it? Jesus Christ. I would have thrown up. Oh my god. Okay, please. Not that this is entirely the same, but I want to, like, am I just gaslighting myself? Did he not say he's probably going to address this, but I keep comparing this one to this one. Maybe that'll also help me remember something. By remember, I mean, like, catch something that I'm not catching with this, which is different, but, like, whatever. Does he not say his name? I guess he doesn't. No, I really don't think he does. Well, why do we suddenly... Yeah, he didn't say it. What the hell? Okay. What the hell? I just realized I never asked for your name. Not knowing what to call you will make conversation awkward. You don't need my name too. I want to, though. Miguel. Miguel. Like the Archangel. The name suits you quite well. It suits me? It does, although it's difficult to see you in the dark. You seem to be a very handsome man, befitting of your name. I beg to differ. Giving me his name is the highest form of mockery. Expect the real Archangel is probably rather annoyed by it. I don't know. I think it's a wonderful name. And your? Your? You wimp! No! What the hell? Don't back out, you frick! Ugh. I don't know why I saved again. That upset me. That upset me. Oh, that made me angry. Okay, I don't see anything. Did we not read this? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Maybe I did. I don't know. Let me reread this. If I didn't. I feel like I didn't. You, having been trapped in perpetual darkness, found light in the same house where I withered away. Oh. What? You, having been trapped in perpetual darkness, found light in the same house where I withered away. The light was bestowed upon you by a certain woman, was it not? Leave everything to me, my dear. I promise I shall make this into a most beautiful tale. Yes, I'm giving you special treatment, a rare act of kindness from me, of warmth. You do not wish her to know the truth, and I can make better use of her like this. So it is both of our benefits to rewrite the woman you loved. Okay, so you being Michel, right? Michelle, sorry. Found light in the same house where I withered away. The certain woman is probably white-haired girl. I wonder if that's the maid that's saying this. I don't know. But, I mean, we don't know the maid's name. The maid's name could be Morgana. That's possible. I don't know. How did I miss that big chunk? I keep looking in here. How did I miss that bit? Okay, interesting. Say it. Say it. Say your name. Say it. Oh, my name? My name is... Frick! I knew it! I knew it was either Giselle... Oh, wait. But why is it different, the Giselle bit? Oh, frick. Now we can all call her Giselle. I know you guys have been waiting to do it. No one slipped up in the comments, though. That's respectable. Cheers to you all. Appreciate that. That's so... Oh, I'm glad I remembered the mirror bit. And that's all I keep moving back to today. I just keep rewatching it. I'm just hoping that I'll see something I missed. Giselle. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Why was Giselle in the carriage? And Giselle. Frick. Why was Giselle in the carriage then? And that. And like, interesting. Why is the memory different? I wonder if there's a reason for that. With maybe the red text. Please call me Giselle. That's a pretty name though, white-haired girl. So she's always had that name throughout history too. Very interesting. Very intriguing. Oh, thank goodness. For what? That I was able to get your name and talk to you for a little bit. Why didn't it change to Giselle? We haven't seen much of each other since I first arrived, so I'm glad that I got to hear your voice. So very glad. You gain nothing by speaking to me. You have no responsibility to do so. There's no need for you to feel joy about it. I'm not pleased out of some sense of responsibility or necessity. It's just depressing not being able to have a conversation with someone living in the same house. You do not understand me at all. Okay, so if white-haired girl's name is Giselle, then I will bet well, I mean, she could also be Morgana, but it's like, I feel like the maid is Morgana, which is an interesting name to give her. I still think, yes, okay, yeah, I would bet it. I would bet it. As I said on that first day, my curse will one day kill you. But I'm still alive, aren't I? You are welcome to believe I'm lying, or that I'm merely out of my mind. But it'll be too late when you realize the truth. I'm fine, I'm sure. I'll be fine, I'm sure. And even if I do die because of your curse, I promise I won't hold a grudge. Could you possibly be keeping away from me out of concern? No. I simply have no interest in interacting with anyone. I would like to interact with you, if you don't mind, that is. As I told you, you have nothing to gain from that. I have nothing, not even words to give you. My body is but a shell, even if I were not cursed. My presence would do naught but cause you discomfort. I don't think that's true. I don't believe that there's anyone in this world with absolutely nothing. There's plenty inside of you. You simply haven't noticed it yet. And not all of it will only cause others pain either. If you truly believe those words, then you're a foolhardy girl. How can you trust someone you only just met? For that matter, how do you not resent everyone? Resent them? I can take a guess as to why people call you a witch, and why you to flee all the way to this mansion. Your white hair and red eyes. That abnormal, seemingly inhuman appearance drew their condemnation. And I can think of any number of reasons they might have started treating you less than human. Perhaps people around you experienced misfortune, or perhaps there was a natural disaster, a famine, a plague, some kind of external phenomenon, and you were their scapegoat. Yes, you are, by and large, correct. That would make me as unworthy of your trust as anyone else. I make no claim to having your interests in mind. Oh, okay. God. Well, I mean, while I'm here, let's just do a little... Wait, did the red text disappear? What? Maybe I just scrolled too far. Okay. Goodbye. If you don't mind, could you teach me how to read sometime? Did you listen to anything I said? I listened, yes. I have no intention of idolizing you. I don't expect you to do anything for me, and I don't wish to burden you in any way. I simply wish to be allowed to be at your side. It does not matter to me what kind of person you may be. That is all I want. I apologize for keeping you. Please consider it, if it's not too much trouble. Sorry, I haven't had coffee today yet. Woof. As the master of this house, Mikhail made his way out of the library, and he appeared slightly rattled. Perhaps the white-haired girl's determination had ignited something in his chained heart. Or perhaps it was something else. She stared toward the darkness, into which Michel disappeared. Then, she carefully wrapped her arms around the jade-embossed tome, a soft smile spreading across her lips. He's a decent man. I'm sure of it. We're alike, he and I. And thus began to blossom within her faint sense of fellowship, as someone who knew solitude. Okay. Nope. I don't think we got anything. All right. It had been a week since the white-haired girl had taken up residence in the mansion. Staying in that house deprived of light was, I imagine, a very claustrophobic experience. To anyone blessed enough to have sunlight as part of their everyday lives, it would have been unbearable. But for her, the mansion, with its prison walls and lack of either illumination or recreation, was the one place she could find respite. She and Michel continued to be distant, however. He spent most of his time in his chambers, which he had explicitly told the white-haired girl to stay out of, leaving her unable to close that gap. Nonetheless, on the occasions they did cross paths in the hallways, their eyes would meet, if but briefly. It was never for more than a few seconds. Whenever she saw him, she made a point of giving him a little smile. He never said anything, but still, when she had first arrived, he would not have even met her gaze. He seemed to be taking more and more notice of her. One day, the white-haired girl stood in the cellar, a frown on her face. Well, this is troubling. I can't go down to the village, but if we don't do something soon... The cellar was where their food was stored, an assortment of non-perishables and dried foods, smoked meats and cheeses. Her daily meals were taken from the supplies there. However, the stockpile was beginning to grow quite small. Were she not on the run, she could have gone to the village to procure more. Or perhaps, were she a little tougher, she could have captured a wild animal for its meat. But master, you know, a young, delicate thing like her was hardly up for the task of hunting for food. How does he normally get his supplies, I wonder? From there, other questions about Mikhail started rising in her mind. No matter how lifeless he seemed, surely he still had to eat, right? The white-haired girl nodded, then made her way out of the cellar, intending to head for his bedchamber. The one place he said not to go to. The gun? Chekhov's? Chekhov's gun? The gun of Chekhov's? As long as she doesn't open the door, it's fine. But the gun is Chekhov's. The gun of Chekhov's. Chekhov's gun. But on her way there, she spotted him, standing by the entrance, staring motionless by the door, lit by a single candle. He appeared to be waiting for something. May I ask you a question? Go on. I was just down in the cellar and I noticed we were running low on food. Do you normally go down to the village to restock? I haven't been outside in 10 years. Then, how do you... What have I told you? I don't eat. What? That I am not of this world. That as such, I've no need for sustenance. What would you think of that? That sounds very, economical? Wow, what a response to I don't eat. I mean, I guess she's right. It saves a lot of money if you don't eat. If you can survive without having to eat, that's one less thing to worry about. If that were possible, I'd like to have that ability too. It would seem trying to frighten you is a waste of time. Was I supposed to be afraid? Never mind. It doesn't matter. You asked about the food in the cellar. It's getting to be about that time. Wait, and you'll find out. What do you... It's here. Oh? If you want to know where my supplies come from, open the door. But, I'm in hiding. There's no one at the door anymore. The knock is nothing more than a signal. A signal? The white-haired girl turned towards Michel to press him for more information, but he averted his gaze. Find the answer yourself, he seemed to be saying. She took several moments to gather her will, then marched over to the door. Still nothing. Interesting. So bright. The sunlight, which she had not seen in some time, was so bright it seemed to burn her eyes. Although the sun itself had not gotten any brighter, she had simply spent so much time in the dark, her eyes were no longer accustomed to that much light. The color of her eyes made them quite sensitive to light already, so when she stepped outside, her whole world went bone white. The white-haired girl stood motionless for 10, perhaps 15 seconds, and when her eyes had finally adjusted to the light... What's this? She noticed a crate on the ground at her feet. She turned her head back to Michel about the box, but the mansion was so dark it appeared to be wholly severed from the outside world. From where she stood, she was unable to distinguish Michel from the shadows. A pang of nervousness struck her. She wanted to return to that darkness as quickly as possible. The white-haired girl had come to yearn for that world, without light more than the one with. The crate was fairly hefty. The slightly built girl had considerable difficulty bringing it into the house, but eventually, she did manage to drag it through the front door. And then, everything went dark once more, except for the faint flicker of candlelight floating in the air. You can leave it there. I'll take care of the rest. What's... Without a word, Michel approached her, and the box, withdrawing a knife that he had evidently kept hidden somewhere on his person. With it, he cut through the rope that bound the box. Go on, open it. At his insistence, she placed her hand upon the box. She had no idea what lay inside this unexpected delivery. Whoever had brought it was already long gone. Staring at the strange box, she was racked with nervousness. However, what she found when she pushed aside the lid was completely ordinary food. Haha. Is something amusing. It was just rather anticlimactic. Here I was worried about what might be inside. We were just talking about the supplies in the cellar. So, we were. It completely slipped my mind. This should last us for some time. It's all preserved just like what's in the cellar. But I don't understand. Who would deliver all this to you? There should be a book in there as well. What? Oh, there it is. In the library, he said that his family sends him 1 book a month. Does that mean this box came from them? If so, then why did the person who delivered this leave without speaking to him? What happened between him and his family? Is he here because they want him here? Or perhaps because he chose to be here? Take the book to the library, please. I'll bring the rest of the supplies to the cellar. But it's a big box. I'm sure you could use some help carrying it. That won't be necessary. Take the book and go. But... Fine. Then stay here. I'll take care of everything. Wait. Hold on, please. What is it? You don't have to answer this if you don't want to. And, I'm not trying to pry, but I can't help but be curious. Say what you have to say, please. I was wondering if you could tell me why you live here in this mansion. Why did whoever delivered this box leave before you even opened the box? Or before you opened the door, could you perhaps be imprisoned here? I told you this the very first day. I'm cursed. It's only natural for a cursed man to live in a cursed house. Yes, but that's such a vague answer. I don't understand why you're in the situation you are. I don't know how you feel about it. There's so much I don't know. And I'm not even sure if your curse actually exists. I see. It's a perfectly reasonable doubt from your point of view. Having been branded a witch because of your appearance, it would make sense that you would think my curse might be fabricated, or perhaps a metaphor for something else. Alright then, come with me. What? I'll show you my curse. As he turned on his heels, the white-haired girl caught a glimpse of what appeared to be a smirk on his face, like the whole thing was some kind of sick joke. That smile carved into his mask was far colder than any look of annoyance or rejection. Still no red. Okay. Alright, I guess we'll save before he shows that, whatever the hell the curse is. That's probably the best cliffhanger-y point I can stop at, honestly. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I had a good day today. I'm so sorry. I know I'm struggling with the voices a little bit today. I'm a little bit out of it because I'm a little bit ill still. It's mostly just the congestion, but apologies. I really wanted to avoid getting a recording with me sounding a little congested still, but I really want to get this out on Monday. So thank you guys for watching. There's a lot of things. White-haired girl name reveal, but also the name didn't change to Giselle, which is interesting. We knew Michelle's name before he had told us, which is interesting. I don't know, he's interesting. Also, white-haired girl's our current main character for the story, which is interesting. Maybe our current main character for real? I don't know, maybe. But I don't know, lots of theories, but not a lot of information yet. I mean, it's the beginning of the door, so it's always like that, but starting out strong. I'm really interested in the story. I had a hard time pulling myself away, to be honest, but very excited for next Morgana Monday. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. This was good. Eee. Very excited. Very excited. Thank you guys. I wish I had more theories to discuss. I don't have much. I'm glad I called the Giselle slash Morgana name. I wish I was confident that it was Giselle. I'm glad I remembered about the mirror too. Anyway. Thank you guys for watching. All my socials are down below. You can check them out if you want. You don't have to, but it's there if you want. If you want to leave a comment, let me know what you thought. And if you subscribe, it would mean a lot, but you don't have to. All right. Have a good one. Blah, 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 blah.